like that. Woo!
What's good, everybody? Welcome to the Pull Up Show. My name is BJ Matthews, aka B Jizzle. Before we get started, follow us on the YouTube page, the Pull Up Basketball Podcast, as well as like, share, subscribe all of our YouTube videos by hitting that notification bell by the subscribe button. Let's get it popping. All right, man. Happy Thursday. I hope you had a good week so far, man. We're going to get into some more hoops. I know I was out, I think, yesterday. I didn't come on the show. So we're back at it again with another good topic. I want to get some more information on this specific topic before I talk to y'all. You know how I roll. Before I talk about anything, I like to get all my facts in order. Of course, I'm not perfect, but for the most part, I try to be as good as I am for y'all. But hit that like button when y'all, hit the stage. Wipe your feet before you enter this house. I appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Let's get it rolling. Free agency, free agency, free agency. You know what I'm saying? More free agency news you got going out right now. This time it's not really it's not really a shock in my opinion, but somewhat it is kind of a shock because it's not a max player we're talking about. It's a person that has he has accolades as far as the championships, but he's not a max player. They just won a championship 4 out of their 10 seasons. He's been with the Golden State Warriors. He's the anchor. He's the engine. He's the toughness, the voice of the team. And y'all see the man on the screen, Draymond Green. See, that rhymes. Draymond Green is up at it again, and this time it's about his money. Okay, Draymond Green always seems to be talking about something. He always seems to be rambling about something. Now it's about, his money, his bread, getting his deal. And pretty much, in a nutshell, man, Draymond Green believes that he deserves a max contract. Right? Draymond Green believes he deserves a max contract with the Golden State Warriors. He feels as if he's just as important to the team as Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Steve Kerr, Bob Laker, or Bob Myers, Joe Laker. He feels like he's a part of that core. I won't say he feels like he's the most important, but he is definitely part of the tradition. Like I said, the Warriors have won 4 championships out of 8 seasons with Draymond Green being there. Can't deny that. We cannot deny what Draymond Green's been with the Golden State Warriors. Right? Now, let's put some things into perspective. The Warriors just last season missed the playoffs by missing. They lost in 2 playing games against the Lakers and the Memphis Grizzlies. So they've been dealing with a lot of hurdles before they got over to be champions this year. Klay Thompson coming off the injury, Draymond Green dealing with injuries, them not having enough help for Steph Curry last season. It seemed like one thing after another that got the Warriors kind of, question marks. Is this going to continue as a franchise organization? But they proved a lot of people wrong, man. I had them as a dark horse this season. Like I said earlier this season at the beginning, I said they're going to be a dark horse team. But I did not expect them to win the championship. I'm going to be very honest with y'all. You know what I'm saying? Because just by basically what we were seeing, it was going to take a lot for them to win. Okay? But here we are, man. We got Draymond Green talking about, his deal. He's basically saying he's open to explore options if he does not get the max deal by the Golden State Warriors, right? Now, we all know, or the people who pay attention to ball, that Draymond Green signed a 4-year, $100 million deal back in 2019. The Warriors paid him a max deal then. He was 28 years old. Was he? No, he was 29. Okay, he's 29 years old, so he's right by the start of his prime. They paid him a max deal then, but he seems to be trying to get his last max deal before he's out the league, and this time he wants a 5-year deal, long-term with the Golden State Warriors, starting the end of next year. He has 2 more years left on that deal with a player option. For those who don't know what a player option is, that is when a player has the option of either leaving or staying with the contract he has with the team offers or exploring other options. So Draymond's made it very clear that he's willing to explore other teams if he does not get the max contract. And I'm gonna go through a bunch of scenarios. I'm gonna let y'all in. You know, I ain't gonna go too long, but I'm gonna go through a bunch of scenarios of what I think Draymond Green is trying to do. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go through some scenarios and what I feel like the Warriors have to look at. And I think Draymond is playing chess, not playing checkers. So let's get into it. Like I said, Draymond Green he has 4-year, $100 million deal on the table right now. It ends next year with a player option. He'll be 33 years old, and he's looking for that long-term deal up to he's 37, right? Roz, what's good, Raheem? I'm tired of Dre. Don't keep no one in the Bay. You gotta go. He won't be a big loss. Shout out to my man Raheem from the Bay Area, man. Bay Area, baby, for sure. Yeah, so that's his deal right now on the table. 4-year, $100 million deal. Now, I don't know if Draymond, I have not actually heard Draymond say this out of his mouth. Usually, Draymond has no problems telling how he feels. I did not physically hear him say anything. So could it be that this could be some, publicity way to somewhat get him his deal by having other people speak for him? I mean, his mother sent a tweet saying basically on Twitter that the Warriors had a tweet saying, "Do y'all think the Warriors will offer Draymond a max contract?" And Mary B, which is Draymond Green's mother, Barbara Green, responded. She said, "A lot of you saying he shouldn't get the max, but guys hasn't won anything, get bread based off potential. Man gone." So of course she's going to defend her son as she should, basically saying that Draymond has been with the Warriors and he's part of their success. And we can't deny that. He has won 4 championships. What did we talk about in 2016 while the Warriors lost? I know they had a bunch of things, injuries with, Andrew Bogut, Iguodala, Steph Curry was hobbling. But the main thing people say, the narrative that goes around is if Draymond Green wasn't suspended for Game 5, then they would have beat them in 5 games. They say Draymond Green's the anchor to the team. Draymond Green brings a toughness to the team. The Warriors they don't have that engine without Draymond Green making them go. Right? So he is important to this organization for sure. Right? Steph Curry showed his his support, saying that, Draymond Green, if he was to leave the team, he would be very upset. Now, again, this was just a quote by Steph. Somebody said about Steph Curry, but it wasn't actually nobody physically heard him say it. But the quote said multiple sources said Curry would not be happy if the Warriors lost Green because the team didn't want to pay him. Slater and Thompson reported. Curry sees the big 3 as a package deal, which much of the talk of the season was about the Warriors' plan to win and develop simultaneously. It isn't a loss on the veteran core how that plan disappeared in the postseason. It was all of them, again, with the help of some critical vets. So that goes a long way, Steph Curry supporting Draymond, because everybody knows Steph Curry is the man in Golden State. He's going to be the best player to play for the Warriors in franchise history. People may say Will Chamberlain, but I think it's going to be Steph Curry when it's all said and done. So his support goes a long way for Draymond, right? And that's why I go back to what I was saying. This could possibly be a way for Draymond to get paid. Like, I'm going to get to that in a minute, why I think this is somewhat of a chess move by Draymond. But check this out. Draymond basically saying this at this time is a little bit, like I say, he's not a dumb guy. You still have another year to play your contract out and earn that max deal. But what Draymond's doing is he's at a high point right now. The Warriors just won a championship, right? The Warriors just won a championship, so you're at your highest point. So this is the time to try to, negotiate a deal for the future, try to lock up some money for later on. Now, is Draymond Green single-handedly going to lead a team to championship? Hell no. That's not who he is. But what he is a guy for this Warriors team. Like Steph Curry says, I mean, that's what they say in this quote. They're a big 3, meaning that it's like one of my guys said, Elise, who's been on the show, quite a few times on my show. He says like the Warriors are like they're like a recipe, the cake. Steph Curry's the cake. Um, Draymond Green is the flour, and Klay Thompson's the icing. So each three of the ingredients have to play a part. Without one of them, the cake's not gonna taste as good. If you take away Steph Curry, obviously the Warriors, that's the main course. You're gonna probably miss the playoffs. You take away uh, Draymond Green from that team, that means the Warriors are gonna still be okay with Steph and Klay, but they're not gonna be able to go against them physical teams, right? They're not gonna be able to be out tough. They're not gonna be able to be out tough with them. And then you take away Klay Thompson. He's the icing. He's the guy he's the sweet spot. He's the guy that, icing on the cake finishes out games for the most part. So each one of them play a vital role. They all mix with one another. You know what I'm saying? East Oakland 9-0. Mac, what's good with your brother? Nice to meet you, big dog. Octavius, Texas made. Let me guess, LeBron trying to get him on the Lakers. We gonna get to that, bro. You said, nah, Draymond's the Oh, y'all crazy, man. Hey, but check this out, man. Look, this is a chess move by Draymond because he's at the high point of his career right now. They just won their fourth championship, and it's like he's still got another year to play. So it's not really something he needs to actually try to do, like be saying quotes like, "Oh, I need a max deal. I must explore the options." Right? He knows Draymond's not a first option on a championship team. He knows that, right? And the Warriors know that. The Warriors know that Draymond Green, what he brings to this team. I don't think that is worth. Now, do I think they're gonna give him the deal, or should they give it to him? It's gonna depend on a couple things. Now we know the Warriors just let go of Gary Payton II and Otto Porter, two core guys to their team, to their rotation. Gary Payton brings the tenacious defense, which I think is going to be a loss for the Warriors because he's the guy that guards the toughest player opposing guard on the team. Y'all saw against the Memphis Grizzlies, he guarded Ja Morant. Y'all saw against the Mavericks, he would bother Luka a little bit. He would bother Tatum against the Boston Celtics. So GP is the guy that brings a lot of energy, defense, and athleticism and youth to that team. So that was going to be somewhat of a loss for the Warriors. And then you got Otto Porter, who's a vet, who's a tough shot maker, who's long, who's about 6'7", 6'8", who's plays solid defense. Another loss. But that frees up cap space for them. Now, I don't know the exact numbers for the luxury tax and all that stuff, man. I know Steph and Klay are going to get the max deal. Steph's already on his max deal right now. Klay's going to look for his max deal. But the two players they're going to have to really think about, because they got to pay other players, is Jordan Poole and Andrew Wiggins. They still got to figure out what they're going to do about these two. Now, this is where it becomes a little bit dicey. This is where it's going to be either about your future or about repaying the past. Do you go and think about Draymond Green? Oh, he's going to be 37 years old. He's going to be, on his last legs. He's not going to be able to bring the same energy, most likely, and defense tenacity at the same level he did when he was like in his late 20s, early 30s. Are you going to sacrifice your future by letting one of these dudes go? Or are you going to say, you know what, Draymond, we appreciate what you've done for our franchise. We love you, but we're not giving you the max deal. We're not losing Jordan Poole and Andrew Wiggins. That's what it's going to come down to. Now, my opinion, and it's just me, I think, again, Draymond's playing chess. I think Draymond will be willing to negotiate. I think Andrew Wiggins and Jordan Poole will be willing to negotiate and sacrifice. Right? But if you just ask me, it depends. If there's enough money for them to give Draymond a max deal, give him a max deal. Because why? He's part of that Warriors culture. If you let Draymond Green go off the Warriors team, they're not going to lead the same team. They're not. They're not. And if I had a choice to let go either Andrew Wiggins and Jordan Poole to keep Draymond Green, have been given the max deal, and this may be a little controversial to people, but based on what I see, I would have to let go of Jordan Poole. I like Jordan Poole, his offensive firepower, what he brings to the Warriors. I think he's 24 years old. He can shoot off the dribble. He can get to the basket. He's very slithery with his handle, but he's another version of Steph. He's not a Steph Curry. And I can't afford to lose a guy like Wiggins who can play both ways of the ball, who's athletic, who's 6'7", because you have to play. The game is translating more into wings than guards. Check it out. Look at the Celtics. They have Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum. Which Jordan Poole struggled in that series a little bit against the Celtics. And look at the Clippers. You got Kawhi and PG. Look at the Mavericks. You got Luka Doncic. Look at the Lakers. Of course, you got LeBron. Look at Giannis. The Milwaukee Bucks. Look at X, Y, and Z. It's turning into a wing game, like 6'6" to about 6'9", 6'10", two-way players who are strong and athletic. I think Jordan Poole's like 6'3". So you have to let go of Poole over Andrew Wiggins. Right? Draymond just needs to play out his contract and just retire. He already has a retirement job waiting for him. He was a great part of us, but we don't extend him, and ain't nobody else going to resign him. See, yeah, that's the thing about it. He's Oakland, not on Mac. I would say this. No one's going to resign. I wouldn't say no one's going to resign him. I think there's a lot of teams that will like his services, teams that need toughness, teams that need championship pedigree, teams that need a player that's going to rough it up. There's a lot of teams he can go to, but he's not going to be able to star and get that money. But there's a lot of teams that would take Draymond Green. A lot of teams would take him. I think it would be a mistake. I think it would be a mistake for both sides if Draymond left, and it'd be a mistake if Golden State let Draymond go. Because I'm telling you, if Draymond doesn't resign with them, they're not going to find that. People think it's just easy to replace Draymond. It's not easy to replace him. What he brings as far as just by, first of all, defensive end, of course, how he defends the bigs like he did Jokic, like he'll do Jaylen Brown in the finals, how he's able to find Steph and Klay. People gotta understand this too. A lot of open shots that Steph and Klay get start with Draymond with handling the ball, with the break, off of flare screens, off of back screens, him finding cutters. Like Draymond is like a playbook, man. Like I said, he's not just a guy who's just dumb and wild. He's actually a very smart player, right? So they can't afford to lose a Draymond Green. But I don't know, man. I think he needs to play his contract out as well. But I think, again, what Draymond's trying to do, he's trying to secure his money. Because, again, this is his last chance to get like a big deal. So I feel what he's trying to do. But it's a mistake if you choose to let him go. If I'm Bob Myers, I'm not going to give him the max deal. No, you need to at least let him explore what you have in your pocketbook. You know what I'm saying? Explore what you got, match up the contracts, and see what you can move around. Because he is a big piece to what the Warriors have. So, anybody want to come here and cook? I just dropped the link. But you said we saw Draymond without the splash brush. Yeah, but that's my thing though. If you take any one of those ingredients, they're like I said, a cake. If you look at when they didn't have Draymond Green, like the Warriors were struggling this season, like around January and February. I remember they were struggling in the whole conversation because they didn't have Draymond Green. They were looking like when they didn't have really no person to really set the tone. They were struggling without him. When any one of those guys leave, they're going to struggle. That's why Steph said they're a package deal. They're a 3 package. Like, you pretty much know like what you are if you're a team. What's good, Bruce?
Hey man, how you doing?
Much, man. What's up, Kirk?
Hey, doing good. How are y'all?
Hey, man. Blessed, highly favored. Let's start with Bruce, man. What you got, man?
Draymond Green sees the writing on the wall. Uh, Draymond Green was worse this year. His defense was his mouth. Okay, so he's worse offensively, and all he does is pick and roll, give the ball to Steph, stand on top of the key, and wait until Steph get out of those screens and give him the ball, or Klay Thompson, and make a lot of turnovers trying to sneak a pass. That's his offense. A lot of players can do that. I mean, if I see Wiseman playing well and Kuminga playing better next year, I trade Draymond at the trade line, deadline. I'm sorry. Yes.
All right. What you got, Kirk?
Yeah, I was just keying off of the comments that you were making on his defense, but you got to have some shutdown defense, guys. He may not be a Dennis Rodman, obviously, but Dennis also had the rebounds, and he just was fire right on the court. So he really helped the Spurs in those areas where they needed some bench and some leadership on the boards and just attitude, and sometimes it's that, whether you're running your mouth, getting in people's heads, or making it happen on the court, it's part of the game.
Okay. What's up, Bubba?
What's up, bro? Salute to everybody on the panel.
Salute.
Hey man.
Yeah, I mean, I joined late, so but I'll say this: I don't think Draymond really deserves the max deal that he's looking for. I mean, his production on the court is not max contract worthy. He, like Bruce said, he averaged a triple single. Now if he leaves Golden State, I feel like he's not replaceable because what player can you find that can play defense and play make for you? Because that's what Draymond provides for the Golden State Warriors, which is going to be tough for Golden State because Steph Curry can play make, but he doesn't really do it as how Draymond does it. So I feel like him leaving Golden State will be it'll be a huge loss for Golden State, but I don't think he deserves a max deal.
Okay. So all good points, and I'm gonna let y'all have most of the panel. But I just want to say this: it's not, again, Draymond is not a number one option. He's not even number two option scoring wise. But I'm not talking about option wise scoring. I'm talking about production when he brings. He is the engine to that team. He is the anchor to that team. Without Draymond Green, the Warriors are not winning a championship. You can't replace that. You can't replace a guy that can guard Jokic and bother him in the playoffs. You can't replace somebody that know every single pass and every single cut in the offense. You can't replace the toughness and tenacity, the mental side of the game that Draymond Green brings. So is he an option where you're looking at just he can score 25, 30 points? No, he's not. But you got to think about, we're talking about the Warriors. The Warriors, their core, what they know, what he means. Like, again, he's responsible for them winning 4 championships out of the last 8 seasons. That's half. The Steph Curry was there before Draymond got there. Steph Curry didn't win anything. Klay Thompson was there. Klay Thompson, they didn't win anything. Draymond Green gets there. They win together as a triple unit. All 3 of those guys. So it's like the Warriors will be losing a lot if they lose Draymond Green. So my thing is, I would give him the max only off of this because off of loyalty and what he's done for that franchise. If I can afford it. But I'm not gonna say well let him no, like because there's who like Bubba said, you can't find that. You can't find nobody on the league that can do what he does for them. Go ahead, Bruce.
The only thing I'm giving Draymond is retirement jersey. If he's asking for the max contract, retirement jersey, and that's it. I mean, the only player, I mean, probably two players I would give like max contract because of what they did is Curry and Thompson. I mean, what I mean, you can get another player for Draymond, not as loud as Draymond, but you can get another player that can do what Draymond does. I mean, I don't
But
know.
why would you give Clay a max but not Draymond?
Because he can still shoot even when he's 60. Can Draymond shoot? No.
No, but he does have again, that's why I said the mental aspect. When you say his defense is his mouth, you know why Jason Tatum crumbled? When we remember the turning point of the series is when Draymond Green was trying to steal the ball from Jason Tatum out of bounds, and Jason Tatum from that point on was shot. He understands the mental side. Like without him, there's no toughness to the Warriors. There's no toughness.
It's because Jason Tatum mental was not tough enough to handle Draymond mouth. I mean, other players, Draymond has talked to other players. They were fine. So
who?
That's all he does. He's barking, and then when you hit with the dog, when a dog is barking, you hit it with a rock, the dog runs away. Tatum didn't throw a rock.
But who else? Who goes back at him though? He did the same thing to Jokic. He did the same thing to Ja Morant. Who else goes right back at Draymond?
Ja Morant got injured. Jokic didn't have enough help. So I don't. Draymond is not. Draymond is like trying to sell you something, and he has nothing.
Bro, he got 4 rings.
Because of Curry and Thompson.
Because of Curry and Thompson, yeah.
Bro, I'm telling you. But they didn't do nothing before Draymond got there.
All right, bro, let me ask you this question.
Okay.
What did Draymond do when Klay Thompson was out? He didn't.
I'm not denying that. I'm not denying that. But what I'm saying is that they didn't. They're never no. They're a package deal. That's what Steph Curry was saying. He says without Draymond Green, they are not going to look like you saw what they were in the season when Draymond had that back injury for like 10, 12 weeks. Everybody was asking like, "Where's Draymond at? We need Draymond Green." It'll be the same thing if he leaves. Steph and Klay are not doing nothing without Draymond Green, and Draymond Green is not doing anything without Steph and Klay. You have to have toughness to your team.
Thompson and Draymond came the same year, and Curry. It was not the same roster when Curry was there. It was Draymond. David Lee was the starter, and what's the other guy name? I forgot. It was not the same roster. And Curry was playing with Monte Ellis.
Monte Ellis, yeah.
So,
but Steph had the same team last year. And they didn't even make it past the play. They didn't even make it in the play. They didn't make it past the play-in. They had Otto Porter. They had Andrew Wiggins. They had pretty much the same roster for the most part outside of Klay.
Draymond missed a wide open. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, Bruce.
Draymond missed a wide open layup to win a game against Memphis.
I'm not denying the offensive part. I'm saying what he brings defensively, what he brings energy-wise, you cannot replace. I'm telling you, you take him off this team, the Warriors are not going back to the finals. I don't care who you replace him with.
I can put Batum on the place of Draymond. Warriors would be just fine.
Okay, but you think the Clippers are gonna let him go?
No, probably not. But
no, okay. You can't replace that, man. It's I don't know. You can't replace it.
If I'm the Warriors, I go after Siakam. They'll be just fine.
Okay. What you Kirk? What you guys say?
Yeah, I would just say, if there's somebody out there, free agent or even somebody you got a wheel and deal for, who's got that chip, right, and that defensive skill, go grab him. But you got to keep him in the bullpen until you got that one lined up. And I agree with you there. It's a lot like, it really reminds me of the Spurs, because a lot of the Spurs championships, you know, they won those because they had depth. They had depth off the bench. Their starters, and they had older guys that were basically getting ready to retire on several teams, but they had depth across the bench. And I think he's one of those depth guys. And even though, he may be getting near retirement time, this contract when it runs out, I think he's that depth for Golden State. And I'm a Cali boy, so I gotta give him his props.
Right. Right. Well, let me ask y'all this question though. Let's just say hypothetically, they give Draymond the max, right? They're not going to be able to probably keep Andrew Wiggins and Jordan Poole. They're probably not. Go ahead. My bad, Bruce. Go ahead.
If they give Draymond the max, Warriors are gonna miss some playoffs because Draymond cost the Warriors a lot of games and championships, and he's not the same player. The Warriors got lucky this year; they won with him. But if they continue with Draymond with a max player until he's 37, he knows it. That's why he's rushing to ask this year. Because I was reading, they said that Warriors always negotiate contracts with 1 year left in a contract, and he has 2 years left.
Okay.
He knows it.
Okay, but let me ask you this question. So, do you think they would keep Jordan Poole or Andrew Wiggins?
I'll keep Jordan Poole and Andrew Wiggins and tell Draymond, you come back again when we retire your jersey.
So, you really think that this Warriors roster without Draymond Green is a threat to win a championship?
They figure it out.
I don't like, again, Andrew Wiggins was on the same team last year. So what changed from this year to last year that Andrew Wiggins somehow just became who he became in the playoffs?
He's in a better culture. He's not the leader of the team. No expectations. I'll put DeMarcus Cousins in place of Draymond, and I put Cousins with Wiseman.
Man,
Cousins is cheaper.
Can't do that, bro.
Okay.
This is the same dude we just said, had he played in 2016, they would have won the championship.
That's not the same Draymond. That Draymond was scoring 30 something.
He ain't got to do that. He don't have to score. That's what I'm saying. He don't have to score more than 10 points a game. But his defense is still there. His impact is still there. His mental aspect of the game is all still there. That's why I say if you keep Andrew Wiggins or Jordan Poole, that's where you're going to get your 20, 25 points. And then you got Kuminga, you got Wiseman, you got their biggest mistake, they let go of Otto Porter and Gary Payton II. That's what's going to hurt them. Now you let go of two defenders, like you let go of GP, another defender. So who else is going to defend outside of Andrew Wiggins? Klay Thompson lost a step playing defense.
I don't know. I mean, he was better in the finals. Otto Porter always has a problem. He has to rest one game, play one game. The next game he's sitting.
I could have sworn
is GP.
I could have sworn, Bruce, you told me, and this was you were saying the finals, that Otto Porter should be guarding Jason Tatum.
I said that?
Yeah.
Maybe I was drunk that day, I guess.
Nah, you was first blood. Go ahead, Bubba. Go ahead.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, just like you said, I feel like he's not replaceable. I mean, Golden State can make it to the final if they find somebody who can play make for them, because we all know Draymond play makes for them. That's the only thing that's going to be lacking for them. But as far as Draymond being this defensive player, that bro, he's not the same defensive player that he was 2-3 years ago. Most of the defensive assignments, it was Andrew Wiggins doing it. Yeah, he limited Jokic, but
Yeah, that's all you say. That's it. Like, he limited Jokic. That was, if, like I said, this is why we keep Wiggins over Poole, because Wiggins can give you a 20 and give you hellacious defense. Like, as great as Poole is, but as great as Jordan Poole is, he's not Steph Curry. And he can't. He struggled in the Boston series. He struggled in the Dallas series. The only series he really went off in was the Denver series, and that's because they had the guards that were not able to compete up against. But when they play against the Clippers, bro, could you imagine all them 3D guys gonna be all on his helmet? They're gonna be all on him. Wiggins can play in any series because he has the length, the athleticism, and he's a two-way player. I just don't think you can lose Draymond Green, bro, and still go to the finals.
I'm sorry, but against the Mavericks and the Celtics, I didn't see any good, like, excellent Draymond defense. I thought that when he stayed down, that's when the team came back. The Warriors were scoring and playing better.
right.
I don't know. I mean, against the Mavericks if Draymond played the whole game, man, the Mavericks and the Celtics would have won. I mean, why did the coach sit down Draymond when they were like game 4? If Draymond was playing, Celtics would have won.
You said why he didn't sit down Draymond? You said why he didn't sit down Draymond?
I mean, Draymond is very important to the Warriors, but in life, sometimes you have to move on. When you want to, that's why dynasties end quickly, because you end up to you focus on your feelings about something instead of make a quick change the battery. You keep the same battery, and you know the battery is running out, but you keep the same battery. You need to change it.
The only reason, I mean, I hear you, Bruce. I do. The only thing I would really say, okay, don't give him the max, is that when he gets to be like 37 years old, it's gonna be like he's not gonna be impactful. He's still impactful. Like, throughout this when he was out in the season, again, the Warriors were struggling. They there was, like, I think, like a losing streak because they played the Clippers. They lost by like 25, 30 points. And Steve Kerr and Steph Curry got on the podium and said, "We're gonna figure this out. That's not who we are." And it's like, bro, they don't have any toughness.
But around that time, Klay Thompson just came back. He was rusty. Wiggins was not playing well. It was only Curry. You cannot expect Curry and Wikis to carry the team.
But what makes you think that Wiggins would have still been playing? Again, people were just saying Wiggins last year wasn't. He's all of a sudden he just become like this great player. But remember, nobody was high on Wiggins last year. My point is that Draymond brings a lot to that team as far as before they even step on the court. The leadership he brings to the team, how he gets his teammates ready, how he gets them prepared mentally. That's why guys like Andrew Wiggins and Jordan Poole have such a battery in their back. That's what Draymond Green did to Kevin Durant. People don't, and there's another thing I want to bring up too. Y'all notice Kevin Durant, how he looks with Brooklyn. It's not a surprise that he played his best ball in Golden State.
Mm.
And the reason why he played his best ball, he was being accountable on both ends of the floor, while he was constantly just the perfect, because Draymond put a battery in his back. He
Mhm.
was the guy that got him mentally. He stayed on him. He was the guy that stayed on Kevin Durant. Y'all got to look at it more than just him scoring 8 points, him getting 4 rebounds. Bro, you got to look at the mental side of the game. There's just certain things that he brings to the table that other guys are not going to be able to bring.
I mean, I hope Draymond goes to Sacramento and uh, what's up with my team? Detroit. We'll see if it's effective. I mean, I mean, I don't see. I mean, he's very important, but he is good for five technicals. You know, in talk a lot, and you need to look at Warriors fan. Every time Draymond has the ball and he's about to shoot, the fans are closing their eyes, and if he makes it, they open their eyes. They're happy.
That ain't stopping from winning championships,
Yes, because Curry and Thompson are on the team.
bro. But they weren't winning until you would have a point, Bruce. If Curry and Thompson won with Draymond not there, you would have a point. But the fact is, they haven't. They hadn't won anything when Draymond's not playing. So you can't say one side, oh, they got Clay and Steph, but you can't. But you don't want to give Draymond any credit that what he brings to the team. Like they all go together. They all mix. They all need each other.
They all
So
need each other, but I'm sorry. Go ahead, sir.
nah, Bruce, you can go ahead. You can finish.
They all need each other, but the least important one to me is Draymond. You were talking about cake, um, Draymond and whatever. Man, Draymond is like when you're eating cake and you just remove the top and the cake is better to me. So I don't know.
He's the icing on the cake.
Yeah, it's no icing, man.
That's Clay. You saying you don't need Clay then? Because I said Clay was the icing. I said Draymond was the flour, the thing that
It's a
starts the cake.
the flour. If it stays too long, it becomes bad. So go ahead, go ahead. So,
Good.
So BJ, your whole point is that Draymond needs a good system and good players to be great. Is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm not just saying, but I'm saying like what? Okay, what is the end goal? This is what my question to y'all. What is the end goal for the Warriors? Let's say Draymond doesn't get the max deal. Let's just say he gets shipped off somewhere. What is the end goal for the Warriors at that point? Is this current roster right now going to the finals?
current roster without Draymond,
Right.
uh, they will make at least a second round. I don't think without Draymond they can beat Grizzlies.
Or the Clippers.
Yeah.
So I guess that's my point. So what do you think the Warriors are just satisfied with just getting to the second round?
Okay. What I'm trying to say is, I want Draymond to be on the team, but if he wants a max to make it, to give all the money to him, what about the other players? Okay, if we keep Draymond and Jordan Poole walks and goes away, or Wiggins, Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, and Draymond are gonna win? I don't think
I
so.
believe so. I think if because they've done it before.
They
I
were
don't see
younger.
Jordan Poole, but again, Jordan, okay, but Steph hasn't lost any mojo, it doesn't look like. Clay's gonna come back with a vengeance this season. Draymond's still impactful as far as first of all being a point forward, knowing how to set guys up and being the toughness to the team. If you let Jordan Poole go, yes, he's exciting to watch, but you got Steph Curry there. You got Steph Curry. You got Andrew Wiggins. You have James Wiseman. You have John. You have a new core that can replace what all Jordan Poole. He brings his offense. He don't bring no D.
So who's gonna score when Steph Curry sit down?
You got Andrew Wiggins. You
He's starting
got
the game.
they're not okay. Well, all three of them are not going to be out.
I
They
mean,
got, but they're not going to have okay. And again, this is why I say they let go in Otto Porter. This is why I say the Warriors come somewhat kind of shot themselves in their foot because they let go of Otto Porter and GP. So you let go of a guy who can stretch the floor and shoot, and a guy who can play defense. I would again with Jordan Poole again. I need more defense and offense because the Warriors they have a lot of offense, but where's the defense at? Who's gonna play D?
I'm
The
just gonna
Warriors.
wait until that Patrick Baldwin Jr. that's coming.
Mhm.
I mean, he's decent defensively. So we'll see.
Yeah, I mean it's an ongoing subject. I don't know, man. I just think it just like you gotta at least look at it. You gotta at least look at your pocketbook. You got at least Joe Lacob and Bob Myers got at least look at what's on the table. Like who's earning what? Because if you just say I'm not gonna pay him no money, I'm not gonna give him the max deal, and you threaten to lose him, I mean, you already said it, Bruce. You're probably not gonna win a championship. So what is the Warriors ceiling? What are they trying to do?
I'll say to Draymond, bye, goodbye. Thank you for your service. We'll see you at the retirement ceremony. With Draymond, the Warriors gonna be with Draymond in the next couple of years, and with Draymond with the next couple of years because after I'm giving him the max, I'm gonna lose Jordan Poole who has potential. He's explosive. I'm gonna lose Wiggins who regain his confidence and can help me defensively with other team best players because Draymond is not getting only besides Jokic. Was he guarding the best team of the players? No. And
He played.
as
No,
I said,
He
he
played some
was
good D on Jalen Brown. Yes, he did. He
but
played
we're
good D on Jalen.
talking about the main players like Luca, Jason.
Jalen Brown's the main player. He was the best player in that series. Bruce, did you say Jalen Brown's better than Jason Tatum?
the Celtics players don't know how to handle the ball. They should work on their handles.
So how did they get to the finals?
I mean, Middleton was injured. Uh, Tyler Hero and other players in the Heat were injured.
How did they get the second seed in the East?
They were playing a lot of bad teams.
So the whole NBA were bad teams that they were playing up against. Bruce, you gotta give Boston. Yeah, nobody's perfect, but I'm saying like you can't take away like what he brings. Like he can guard post players, which guys like Wiggins, no matter he's a great defender on the perimeter, but he can't guard the post because he's not strong enough. That like James, I'm still looking at James Wiseman. I don't know how good he's gonna be. He only played like what 5 college games. Like
Rodman was doing more than Draymond, and he was not a max player. Come on.
Facts.
But that's a
Rodman
difference.
was doing
Jordan
more
wasn't a
than
max
Draymond.
player. Jordan wasn't a max player.
Yes, he was a
His
max
last-
player of the Bulls. He was not a max player in the league, but he was a max player of the Bulls.
He didn't get his money until his last 2 seasons. Before that, Jordan was never. Pippen was making more money than him. Just because you get paid more, don't make you the better player. All that means that you had to negotiate the best deal.
Tim Duncan was doing more than Draymond, what Draymond was doing last year. And he was not a max player. Come on, man.
But money doesn't mean nothing. Money doesn't determine how good you are.
Tell that to Draymond.
His job is to get the most money he can. That's what am I going to tell him? That's his job. He's trying to get his. That's why I opened the show with. I said, Draymond at this, he's playing chess. He's trying to get the deal that he has. He has a championship they just won. Who doesn't do that? Who doesn't go after the big money after they won a championship?
He can try to get it, but not on the Warriors.
So BJ, you think he has leverage in the situation?
I don't know, man.
He has no leverage, man. No,
I
none.
don't know. I don't know. Cause look, it's not like the Warriors, bro. Listen, the Warriors were not even favorites to come through and win the championship this year. If we're being completely honest,
Mm.
So
they were
Draymond was
not
the reason.
favorites, huh?
So Draymond was the reason why they won the championship.
He's part of the cake, man. You can't say if you take Steph Curry out, they're not winning. If you take Klay Thompson out, they're not winning. You take Draymond Green out, they're not winning. So yeah, he's part of the reason they won. Yes, he's part of the cake.
Mm.
Bro, after the first round, if you take Draymond off the team, they make the championship.
If you what?
After the first round, what he did in the first round, if you take him off the team, they make the finals still.
Okay, let me ask you this question. So if they beat a healthy Clipper team, you think they're beating them?
With their team right now, they're not. I don't think they beat the Clippers.
Would they beat the Grizzlies?
Yeah.
Fully healthy if Ja doesn't get hurt. Hell no, they're not beating the
No, they
Grizzlies,
don't.
man. Stop. That's what I'm
No, they
saying.
don't.
Like we can't say, like I said, no matter how we twist it around. If Steph and Clay were able to, Clay came a year before Draymond came.
Right.
So it's like if they made any noise, they lost in the first round, I think, against the Clippers in 2000. Was it? I want to say 14.
Yeah, it was 14.
And what Draymond? That was his first year, right?
His second year.
Okay, so they finally cracked through in 2015, but again, Steph wasn't winning game past the first round, and he got Clay. They didn't win, and then they finally get Draymond another piece, the toughness to their team, their engine.
No,
He fit. They fit. They
no.
all fit.
It's not the same Draymond. You keep talking like it's the same
Yeah, it's
Draymond.
not the
It's
same.
not the
Right.
same Draymond.
Right.
He doesn't have to be the same Draymond. That's why they got Andrew Wiggins, Bruce. That's why they got those other guys offensively. You saying you taking up just offense?
But if they give him the contract, the max, they're not gonna have Wiggins.
They'll be able to keep one of them. They will keep either Wiggins or Poole. That's why I asked, who would you keep?
Without Poole, they would lose a lot of games too.
How do you figure that?
Bro, you just said he was the best player in the Nuggets series, though.
Yeah, but I'm not. That's an 82 game season.
No, I'm talking about the playoffs.
They would still, yeah, but they would still make the playoffs.
I don't know.
But bro, Draymond was not that dominant in the regular season. He averaged a triple single.
Okay, again, Bubba, all you gotta do is look at what the Warriors looked at when Draymond was out with that back injury, when he was out for almost 3 months. How's the Warriors look, honestly?
Bro, they lost games just like when Steph Curry was out. They lost games as well.
Again, but you just said, because we're talking about Draymond, we're not talking about Steph. How did they look when Steph and Clay were there and Draymond was out?
They still won games.
No.
Bro, they lost. I remember they lost to the Clippers because they played Chicago. They played Chicago, and the following day they played the Clippers.
They lost because they had no interior. They had no interior presence. That's why they lost. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. If you take Draymond, they have no interior presence. James Wiseman does not play like a big man. He does not use his size. They would be a jump shooting team.
But they had no big man when Draymond left. That's why they were struggling. If they had big men, they'd be fine.
But they don't have a big man. That's what I'm saying. Even when you talk about Wiseman, they're not gonna have a big man. Draymond is their big man. So
you get a big man to replace Draymond. That's cheaper. Give me Cousins. Give me DeMarcus Cousins.
He can't do what. Okay, well, if they do that, then that's a different story. But right now, you can't say if they get a big man because they haven't done it. They haven't. We can't go what they could do, what they need to do. Like they haven't done it. They don't have any. That's why they were struggling. That's all I wanted to get y'all to say. They struggled.
I'm sorry. I saw DeMarcus Cousins play. When he wants to play defense, he plays defense. When he was on the Clippers, he was trying to play defense. When he was in Milwaukee, he was playing defense. When he was in Golden State, he was playing defense. So, and we're still gonna have the same thing. I mean, technicals with Cousins, technicals with Draymond. That's about it. But Cousins is cheaper, and I'm gonna have money to pay Poole and Wiggins.
Again, y'all take them off this team, letting you know you're not making it to the finals. And that's the thing. The Warriors, they're about championships. They're not about second round exits.
Okay. I mean, it's not the same Draymond. This Draymond that I saw in the playoff, he's gonna have a lot of DNPs soon.
We'll see. I mean, you just let go Otto Porter, so I mean, based off of just again, this is just reputation. This is why reputation is so important. The reason why his leash is so long is because of what he's done in the past. Like your resume always matters. Those 4 championships to the Warriors dynasty always gonna mean something. As much as everybody hates Draymond Green, I think I could, and maybe East Oakland, I know Matt can tell me, the Bay Area fans adore him.
I don't know. Those resumes are not gonna play. So
we'll see. We'll see. Let me ask some of these comments. East Oakland Max said if we would have paid GP2 and Otto Porter, it would have cost us $60 million towards the luxury tax. Yeah, and that's why I say they gotta look at their numbers, man, because. And I gotta see Klay. I'm sorry, I gotta see Klay Thompson this year. He's just coming off his injury, but I gotta see him. This is gonna be a contract re-up for Klay Thompson. If he looks like just a basic, because people, and I talked to my barber about this. He's a Warrior fan. He was saying, would he have sat Klay Thompson down and played Jordan Poole? Like that was part of the discussion this year. Now I didn't want to give it too much weight because Klay Thompson's come back from injury. But if it comes out next year where Jordan Poole looks better than Klay Thompson, I mean, you could say the same thing. Why would you give Klay Thompson a max? Because he's not the same player. The message y'all keep saying Draymond ain't the same player. Is Klay Thompson the same player?
But bro, Klay Thompson gave us flashes of his potential in the regular season. Like you're bringing up the regular season. I remember when they played some good teams and Steph Curry wasn't shooting threes. Klay Thompson was bailing them out.
Bro, Klay Thompson was struggling throughout this playoffs.
Klay Thompson had a game winner against Memphis, game 1.
Klay Thompson was struggling to play. I mean, each one of them had a great impact throughout the series. There would be sometimes Steph against the Memphis Grizzlies. I think in game 4, and then you had Klay Thompson in closeout game in game 6.
Game 6.
You had Draymond Green with Nuggets against Jokic. Like each one of them. That's what I'm saying. Like, hold on, let me drop the link for.
But bro, you can't just perform in. You just can't do good in one series and expect to get a max contract. It don't work like that.
He's not going off of one, bro. He's doing again. He's going off.
Argument.
No, he's going off his entire time with the Warriors, bro. This is a year-by-year thing. This ain't about him once, bro. He's been there since 2015. He says that's what Steph is saying. They're a package deal. They're all a package deal. They come as one. This is Draymond saying, I've been a part of this franchise just like they have. Without me, y'all would have not won. That's what he's banking. He's not banking. Draymond just didn't come to the team. He's been with the Warriors since this whole thing started.
So when he's cannot play anymore, but because he was there, I'm gonna give him money.
What's up, everybody? Salute.
What up, man? East Oakland, what's good with you, bro?
Salute.
Nothing, chilling.
I'm interested to hear what you guys say, bro. You Warrior fan. I'm interested to hear what you guys say.
Oh, I was gonna wait till he finished. I'll wait my turn.
Oh no, you good. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Yeah, man, we appreciate everything Draymond did for us and what he brought to us, the heart and soul of our team and what he does on the court for us. It don't shows up in the stat sheet. But at the same time, he's getting up there in age, he got back problems, and he's a little over the hill. So we can't afford to give him a max contract. We could give him a contract, but the number gonna have to be a certain number because we still got to pay the youngsters, the youth, just for our team to go forward. And so Draymond, I think he already 1 foot out the door because he already got his thing going on with TNT once he retire or during the off season, however he got it set up. And we can't afford to just give him the money and take away from, because Wiseman gonna be coming up and Kuminga and others. So we giving Draymond Green a big contract going forward. That's gonna take away from the youngsters getting paid going forward.
Okay. So let me ask you this question. Epic Plays just said if Rudy Gobert getting paid, then Draymond deserves it. I agree with that.
Rudy's younger than Draymond.
Yeah, Rudy's about 5-6 years younger than Draymond.
And that's what I mean. So I'm guessing because it's an age thing with this. Like they get the max deal off of age. I get that. But let me ask you this question. If you had let's just say they give Draymond what he wants, do you still think the Warriors can go to the finals if they keep Wiggins over Poole?
Well, I think we need to pay both Wiggins and Poole.
Right.
Because we don't know how Clay gonna look. Clay and Draymond got 2 years left. I think Draymond got 2 more years left. This season coming up, and the season the season after gonna be a player option.
Player option, right.
Right.
So we don't have to negotiate with him till next off season or during the season.
Right.
Yeah.
Because our main priority should be Poole and Wiggins right now.
Yep.
So one of two things gonna either happen. Either they're gonna let Draymond walk, or they're gonna lower. Because I said with Klay Thompson, he's up on the stand too. Like what you just said, we don't know how Klay's gonna look.
So Klay Thompson, I think he's not asking for a contract extension yet because he want to see how he comes back fully healthy.
Right.
But they'll get offered Klay an extension before they do Draymond Green. Draymond Green, his age and that contract don't age as well going forward. He already have a bad back. He's never been athletic, and he's breaking down in front of us.
Yeah.
So we can't afford to give him too much money. We can offer him something, but it's gonna have to come at a certain price.
So what would your offer be to Draymond?
Oh, I give him 2 year, probably between 30, 35 million. I can't give him more than 15, maybe 15 to 17 million. Just off the respect and what he brings to our table, but to our organization. But really they getting tired of him. His antics and can't control him really.
Yep.
So we can't replace him with one specific player, but we could replace him with several players though.
I just don't see, again, I get that. Look, and I'm not a Warrior fan whatsoever. Like, I respect the team. I respect what they've done. I roll with the Clippers. But I know just what he does, and I'm not talking about what he does stat sheet wise. Because basketball is more mental than physical anyway.
Yeah, a
I'm
lot of
looking
stuff
at
he does for us, it don't show up on the stat sheet. You can't even teach that. It just got a high basketball IQ.
yeah, so that's why, and I'm gonna ask you this question. I mean, the Warriors are they're built off of championships. At this point, is either if they have an opportunity to win a championship, they don't want it. So the pedigree that he brings, the championship pedigree that he brings, is you got to take that into account because again, we going off of Jordan Poole, going off potential. We're
Yeah.
going off of we're going off potential with Jordan Poole. I've
But,
seen what Draymond Green can bring to the table, what he does for this team. Like,
so
go ahead.
you want him to get paid for what he's done in the past, but moving forward, that wouldn't be a smart business move for us financially. Jordan Poole, we can see we gonna pay him off potential going forward, and he got a higher ceiling going forward than Draymond. He's going toward he going upwards, and Draymond coming down.
Was
Right.
still was he still impactful though?
Yes, but to a certain extent, he he guard several positions. The perimeter. He could get up there, guard to certain centers here and there for periods of time during the game. But at the same time, look at his injuries the past 2-3 years. It's always been his back too. That back problem ain't gonna go away the older he get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anthony
guess-
Simons from Portland, he just got 4 years, $100 million. So Jordan Poole looking at that contract like, I know I could get at least 20, 25 million.
So okay. Well, how about this? So do you think Jordan Poole and Andrew Wiggins gonna be asking for like a lot of money?
That's what the market dictates. Because Andrew Wiggins, he's already a max player right now. So his number gonna start around 30, 32 million, because I think that's what he's getting for this upcoming season. I think 33 million.
33. Yeah.
The only reason I'm not rushing Jordan Poole to get a high deal is 'cause I got Steph.
Yeah,
That's
but
the
our
only reason
motto
why.
always been strength in numbers.
Well, yeah, that's true. I mean, like, because only so many people can get a max. So you're saying that Steph's gonna get the max, Clay's on the max, and Wiggins on the max. What are you willing to offer Jordan Poole? Are you going to offer more money than Draymond?
You got to start around 25 million, because that's what Anthony Simons just got from Portland.
Okay.
So they're saying between 25 to 27
Okay.
right now. But the longer you wait and they give out more extensions, the higher the number gonna get.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
and you see Steph, he's not guaranteed to be healthy a full season either. And Jordan Poole stepped right on in. He don't have the same IQ Steph has. He's talented, but he could step in and win you some games going forward if Steph missed 10 or 15 games.
And,
Yeah.
and
we see Clay coming back even stronger from them injuries.
So that's what I mean. Like the Warriors need more defense than offense. They got enough offense. They got enough shooting. They have enough scoring. That's what Jordan Poole is just an extra weapon. Like
And that's what
if you look at what he was in the playoffs, so like against the Denver Nuggets series, he was great, probably the best player on the team. Memphis, he shot inefficient, but that's Steph and Clay shot inefficient for most of that series. The Mavericks, he was average. Boston, he struggled. So he kind of, if I'm looking at Jordan Poole, what I've seen about him, he's an explosive scorer, very talented, like you said. He's a very free spirit on the court. But he also, I think teams are looking at the scout report is to be physical with him.
That
Yeah, I
was his
mean,
first
he's
playoff.
still young and he's thin in the ass. So once you be physical with him, you see how Steph used to get treated. Be physical with him, he had to put on some muscle,
Yeah.
but he's still young, so he got time to keep growing into his man body.
That's a
There's
good
only
point.
one. There's only one player or two players on the team that I will give big money because of resume. And Warriors fans are in love with Curry. They don't care if he missed 25 shots.
Kyrie
Okay.
just signed an extension this past season for 4 years. I think 215 million. That will kick in this season coming up.
We also got to pay attention to this, the CBA, to the collective bargaining agreement. Uh, I don't know how the money gonna look from a year from now, but I think that's something that we got to watch out too. How they gonna move this the dollars around, like the contracts and stuff. That's something to look at after as well.
Yeah, that's
But
why it's better to get it done now because I think after this season coming up, we're gonna be in a lockout.
yeah, I heard about that too. I was
Just
hearing
due
about
to the
that.
players getting all them big contracts. Then once they get them, they want to get traded or want to sit out and forcing their way out of small market teams.
Mm.
So a lot of owners ain't going for that no more. And that's why they was so big, on giving out super max contracts just to get the small market teams to keep their star players to stay with them. But once they
Mhm.
sign a contract for the super max, then they want to get traded after a year.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah, that's gonna be a fight for that. So it's best to pay the players we got now. And speaking of defense, I was saying we got Dante DiVincenzo, well, if that's how he say his name right. But and we supposed to get Jermichael Green once he get bought out by OKC.
But so let me ask you this, not on Matt. So what about the point guard, intangibles that he brings to the team?
Which one?
What Draymond brings? Because if you take him off the team, not only defensively, I'm looking at offensively. A lot of Curry's offense comes off of screen and rolls off of Draymond, off of pick and pops off of Draymond, off of give and goes off the Draymond. So you got to think of the energy Steph's going to have to use because you let go of GP. So you don't really have another point guard. Steph's going to have to handle the ball a lot. Like if we're talking about age, he's not just going to be focused on just shooting the ball. He's going to have to
Devin,
focus on breaking people down on defense.
Devin Seiko, he's more of a combo guard. He can run. You can run the offense through him. He's what 6'4", 6'5". So he could be that ball handler too. And he plays defense. Then you still got Wiggins, Kaminga, and the other boy, Moody. They
Yeah, I
more
like Moody.
three and D guys.
I like Moody. I like Moody a lot. I like Kaminga.
They
Um,
they have the rookie Rollins, and
Yeah,
mhm.
Rollins. But he got a stress. He got a stress fracture in his foot.
he's a good defender.
Yeah. Yeah.
How do y'all think Wiseman gonna look?
Better because
Yeah.
he's playing.
Yeah. He just got to stay healthy. His potential is through the roof, but he ain't played really. So it's 1 year in college. He played how many games? What 5, 6, something like that.
Yeah, 5 games, Memphis.
Then his rookie year, he played, but really didn't get to see him with a healthy Steph, and Clay was injured. Draymond faking injury because he didn't want to play with the rookies and the youngsters to get himself exposed. So
Exactly.
Can I ask you a question? Is Oakland?
yes,
Uh, Do do you think Warriors will be upset if Draymond leave the team?
No, because I mean, it's not. The players, they love what he does for them, and the toughness, and he basically they bodyguard on the court. They heart and soul, but they know at the end of the day it's business.
I mean, but Curry just said in this source, he said he wouldn't be happy if they lose him
I
because they didn't want
mean,
to pay him.
he has to say that though. What else he gonna say?
But
They've
I
been
just want to
together.
know if this was a question or was this as a comment that, like I said, because for all we know, Draymond might not even have said this. Like we haven't even heard it from his mouth. So it's like I'm just going off of what was I saw in the report. So I don't know if this was Curry I don't think this was a question. I just think it's something that he just said. Like I mean, you think about it. Like you won 4 championships with this guy. You have a deep bond with him. You know what he brings to the table. Him and Clay, all three of those guys are like they all fit with one another. I don't
Yeah,
think
they
Steph
make
would
each
just
other
like,
better.
yeah, they're championship nucleus. They one of the best big threes. I'm talking about most accomplished of all time. Like I was saying, and you can answer this better than me, man. Like when before Draymond got on the Warriors, I mean Steph had his team, and I know it wasn't the same team. It wasn't on him. They weren't winning like they weren't a championship franchise. You get Klay Thompson right behind Steph. They still weren't a championship franchise.
So,
Then they finally figured out when they have their three with Steph, Clay, and Draymond. They get some pieces around them with Iggy, Barbosa, Sean, like those guys, and they finally win. They become a dynasty.
so with that being said, the front office and the ownership that drafted Curry is not the same ownership and front office that we have now. So the front
Right.
office and the owners that drafted Curry, terrible, terrible. Couldn't keep good players, wouldn't sign the best, like horrible, horrible organization. The
Mm,
new owners, Joe Lacob and them, they came in and they brought in Jerry West and others to run the team. So that's when he drafted the Klay Thompsons. We signed was the guy he played for the Knicks, David Lee.
David Lee,
We
Andrew
signed
Bogut.
him. He was supposed to have been our big free agent. We still had Monte Ellis. That didn't. Him and Curry, they was like Dame and CJ in Portland, two small offensive players, but neither one of them was gonna play no defense.
Mm-hmm.
Then we drafted Clay. Who else we? Next year we drafted what's the Harrison Barnes,
Mm-hmm.
Festy Zazili, and I think Draymond that year.
Right.
So Mark Jackson, we were steady drafting players, and Mark Jackson was there to develop them. Then I
Yeah.
think that same year, 2012 or 2013, we played the Nuggets in the first round. Remember, we beat them in the first round. That's when Iggy Dollar was on the Nuggets, and he came to us that same offseason.
Right.
Then I think we got Andrew Bogut from Milwaukee, I think that same year, for one of our big men we had drafted at Monte Ellis. So they was just steady drafting players, developing them, doing small little trades, and Mark Jackson was bringing the team along. So I think we
Yeah.
beat Denver that first year in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Then we lost to the Spurs in 6 games
Yep.
in the second round. Then 2014, we lost to the Clippers in 7. And
Right.
Bogut, I
Remember
think,
that.
was down and somebody else. That's when we got a little small sample of Draymond coming in, playing, a big man role.
Y'all won the next year after y'all lost to the Clippers. Y'all won in 15. Like y'all lost to the Clippers in 14. I remember that.
Yeah,
Oh, y'all
and the
went
Clippers,
to, yeah.
I think the Clippers was favorite that year.
Yeah, they was.
He
They
came out
won.
of nowhere that year.
Yeah, that was actually their best chance to get a title. And CP goes down against Houston, and they lost that 3-1 lead.
Yeah, that was
So,
wild.
yeah, so
Because even when we fired Mark Jackson because his religious beliefs and brought in Steve Kerr, Steph Curry and them was upset. They was hurt.
right.
Did nobody seen Steve Kerr coach before? So it was like it was an unknown. And Draymond, speaking of him, he got slipped into the playoffs in a starting role for David Lee going down. And the trainer, one of the assistant coaches, or I think the trainer, was like, experiment. Why don't y'all just start Draymond in and see what he'll look like? I think
Hmm.
that was in the finals against Cleveland.
Right.
And it just happened to work out.
Right. So do you feel if y'all had him in 2016 for Game 5, y'all would have won?
No, because we still had game 6 and 7. But Bogut went down. That was our rim protector. So once he went down, Cleveland just attacked us left and right. We couldn't do nothing. We had Maurice Spates and Azili. And yeah, couldn't do nothing. Steph Curry playing on a sprained MCL from the first round against Houston. He slipped on the wet spot.
Hmm.
Iguodala went down with a back problem. We
Yeah, he
just
had back spasms. Yeah,
yeah.
he look like a mummy out there.
Yeah, so I mean, we just choked. I mean, no excuses.
Mm.
So Skip Bayless repeating every day that Curry's choked. It's a lie too because the whole team was injured.
Yeah,
But I
but
don't
no
feel like that's
excuses.
a
You
that's an
when you
excuse
out
though.
here, you can play. You can play. But remember, they kept saying showing the clip. Steph Curry couldn't get past Kevin Love. And it's like Kevin Love was D'ing him up on the 3-point line, and Steph Curry couldn't get past him. He got a bum knee. He couldn't move.
Yeah, yeah. Skip Bayless still killed Steph over that one series.
But they ain't gonna tell the whole story. He was injured the first 2-3 games in the playoffs against Houston. He slipped on a wet spot in the middle of the floor, in the middle of the court.
I remember that. I think he didn't like flip or something.
No, he was dribbling. He just almost did a split or something.
Okay, yeah, because there was one play it was the same in Houston where he got fouled going for a layup and he flipped.
Oh yeah, over the guy back.
Yeah, but yeah, I remember the one. Yeah, he was dribbling like he slipped. Yeah, I remember that
Was
one.
that the year after?
I
Shit, could
think
have been the
so.
same series. I don't know. I think that was the year after, but yeah. They knew to be physical with him, slow him down on offense, and go at him on defense. Wear him down.
I think Steph, man, this is my opinion. I think Steph getting stronger, like I'm talking about better. It's crazy how he's already a top 15 player, but I think he's even become even more dominant now. Like,
So I wouldn't give him a top 15 right now. I could say it's probably top 25. He might end
What?
his career as a top 15. It's still, he still got a long ways to go. I wouldn't disrespect the cats that came before.
okay,
And
I
were you Warriors
I
fan,
mean,
man?
nah,
No,
I,
I'm a diehard Warriors fan. I've been a Warrior.
Uh,
I'm 40 years old. I've been
top
dealing with the
top
Warriors all my
25.
life.
Top 25. Come on, man.
Man, I feel you. You're so real, but I don't think top 25. I mean,
I ain't got them no specific rank, no number, but I'm just saying top 25. I wouldn't put them top 15. Say probably top 15, 20. But right now, you know,
Man, when I was a kid, just feed the big man and get out of the way. Now I'm driving, walking around courts. I see the first thing they do is shoot threes. Come on, man. Top
Yeah,
25.
fundamentals. They took the big man out the out the middle of the flow from around the rim for the players like LeBron. They can have easy access driving towards the basket. Excuse me. So
Yeah.
so now it's like instead of teaching them what's the old school the drill under the basket and laying it
Mike
up
and
both
Drill.
times. Yeah. They don't teach them that. We need you to stretch the floor.
Yeah.
Then they say, "Oh, these big men, they can't average 10 rebounds." How? When you stuck out there on the 3-point line. Look at Cat from Minnesota.
Yeah.
7 foot, skilled, could post and everything. He want to sit out there at the 3-point line all day.
AD.
AD is like the centers want to be guards and the guards want to be centers or big men.
Yep. That's the perfect way of putting it.
Only real skilled big man still playing is Joel Embiid, Jokic from Denver. It's you could say Brook Lopez from Milwaukee, but they keep him out there on the perimeter now.
Yeah, he be jacking him up too.
Yeah, but remember how he used to be in Brooklyn when he played for the Nets? He was a post player.
Mm-hmm.
He had to develop his game to go outside to the perimeter to give Giannis room to get to the rim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
It's
the
the
game.
AAU coaching and the developers. Ain't no real coaching no more.
Nope. It's all about highlights and showmanship now. Like, and that's AAU. AAU did that. Like, they don't really have real, like you said, real coaching anymore.
And it's the analytics.
Mm-hmm.
So it's easier to bring numbers guys in and talk to the owners in front office that don't really know basketball, but they know numbers. You can't come in there and dissect and break plays down to them because they're gonna be like, "What?" But you could come in and break down percentages of these shots is good to take and these ain't good to take. They understand that.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely understand it's a different time. Like now you got players like you said want to be guards and centers like this mixed up. And also like there's a lot of skills that they don't do no more. Like nobody triple threats no more. No one posts up anymore. No one the two-way players are like somewhat non-existent now.
Mid range gone.
Mid-range, well, the guys I like mid-range, Kawhi, D Book, DeMar,
Oh yeah.
those guys, CP.
It's a rare few. Klay Thompson, one of them.
CJ McCollum.
Yeah, CJ. It's a handful. It's about 10, 12 players that still use that mid range.
Shit, even Joel Embiid uses the mid-range. He like 7 feet.
And the triple threat. That's why I like Kawhi, one of my favorite players. He used that triple threat though too.
Yeah, that's my guy. That's my favorite player.
Yeah, the Warriors my team, but I'm just a fan of the sport though. So I can
Same.
be unbiased because, oh man, I seen the Warriors lose so many years, year after year. It was like when we won, I was like, I thought I'd never see it.
My team. Y'all liked y'all 07 team with BD and Steph and Steven Jackson and Matt Barnes team when y'all knocked out the Mavs. Cause I hate the Mavs. So I was actually hyped that y'all got that 1-8 matchup done.
You know,
I
the Mavs always been fun team to watch. They high scoring, like the old Phoenix Suns in what, 05, 07 when they had their little run
Yep.
with
Yeah.
Mike D'Antoni. Fun team to watch in the off season, but you knew that style of play wouldn't work in the postseason.
Nah, because they play no D. That's
But they
that
get
is
that from Don Nelson, another coach, ruined our franchise, even with that We Believe team. Don't want to play a real center, undersized center, jacking up shots.
Let me ask you. Okay, let me ask you this question. If you think so, what did you feel when they let go of Mark Jackson and they brought in Steve Kerr? Like honestly, how did you feel?
Mark Jackson, he was a great coach and motivate your team, but the offense, it became stagnant at too many times. And they kept asking him to get some better offensive coaches on the sideline.
Mm-hmm.
And he refused. He wanted to do things his way. Then once one of the owners came out and said they part of the LGBT community, and he was like, his religion, he don't support that. So that was another big factor in him getting out of there. And another reason why he can't get a coaching job now.
Mm.
So when Steve Kerr came and brought that motion offense in and was moving that ball and really opened up Steph and Clay, it unlocked them to a whole nother level. We seen bits and pieces of it with Mark Jackson, but the offense, it was just like, it's like, what are y'all doing out there? But Steve Kerr, he came in and he unlocked Steph and Clay.
So
And
why you think? Why you think? So do you think that Steph loved Mark Jackson because the freedom he gave him?
I wouldn't say really the freedom, but he developed him. He was a motivational coach, and he gave him the phrase the Splash Brothers.
Mm-hmm.
So he was a real spiritual person, and he really he was like a father figure to him, and they looked up to him. They respected him. They ain't win nothing before he got there.
Right.
It was like,
Yeah.
now we win and we sniffed the playoffs 2 years in a row. And you don't get rid of our coach. Like, we could give it another year. And it was like, nah, just because of the politics behind the scene.
I remember the interview Steph had sit down where he said that they was about to trade him, release him, and keep Monte, and Mark Jackson was the one that stopped it. He the one that said he wanted to keep Steph, and I think they were playing Sacramento, they were playing the Kings, and that's when he told Steph in the locker room that I chose to give you the keys. So
I never heard that one before.
yeah, I heard Steph say that, and like I think it was just after they won the title this year, like or throughout, it was sometime this season he talked about Mark Jackson, and he brought up saying that the fact that he gave me the opportunity, gave me the keys to the team because he believed in who I was, that meant everything. So I think it was just deeper, like he gave him that confidence because he was going around telling everybody like I got the best two shooters of all time, blase, and then they just they fed into it because it's one if you have a coach that believe in you,
Yeah.
then like I play ball too, like up to overseas, and I'm like when you got a coach that really believe in you, bro, like you turn into a more different player. You turn into a different player.
Yeah, because we gave Monte Ellis, 6 years or 5 years, 66 million? 6 years, 66 million. That one
Yeah,
off season. And I think he went moped and somewhere on a dirt bike or something. and he messed up his heel. He messed up his feet bad where he couldn't play. And
Okay.
I think the Warriors was already like, that's when. Then when we drafted Steph Curry, he was like, "Oh hell no! Nah. Like I'm not playing with him. Y'all drafting what y'all draft him for?"
Mm.
So it's like now they looking at him like, we paid you this money. You go out here, had this freak accident on a moped, dirt bike, whatever he was on, messed his feet up. Now he complaining. So they looking like, and I think that's when they brought in Jerry West. And Jerry West was like, I think y'all should run with the young gun and get rid of Monte. And I think we had Epe Udoka. I think
Yep.
we drafted. So we got rid of Monte Ellis and Udoka. That's when we brought in Bogut. After
Okay.
a
Yeah.
couple of
Now it's
seasons.
become. So Pagan 180 just said, who was the center for We Believe team? Was it Beatrice,
Yeah,
Randolph, or
Andres Beatrice.
okay? Yeah. I thought so. And then Bogut came in 15, right?
Bogut came in, I think, 12,
Okay, because okay, so
13,
you saying
one
he
of them.
won the strength and numbers team. That's when y'all won that title. When everything started.
Yeah. 'Cause I think Bogut was there 2 seasons or maybe 2.5 seasons, but he was always having little back, injuries.
Yeah, because he came from Milwaukee, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, yeah, that makes okay. Now it's making
Maybe he
sense.
had that freak elbow accident. He dislocated his elbow.
Okay, because Bogut was a problem coming out of college, man. And I
Yeah, he went to
remember like he
Utah.
was like 7 foot, had skills, who can who had nice hands, and he was just like a tree in
Yeah,
that
soft
post.
touch around the rim. Nice little post game.
Yeah,
Good passing, big man.
yeah. I'm like, this dude, he's nice, but he just can't stay on. He can't stay healthy.
He had that freak elbow accident and damn near ended his career. Damn near probably it was about to cost him his arm, probably. That was ugly.
Yeah,
And after that, it was always little accident, injuries here and there that kept him out.
got you.
But yeah, because remember when we got to the Warriors, we was running our offense through him.
Yeah. I remember that. This was around he had Monte Ellis and all them there, right?
After we got rid of Monte.
Yeah.
Because we got rid of Monte, and that's when Clay started coming in, starting lineup. Because Clay was buried on the bench.
Yeah. Cause he came in 11, right? Clay came in 11.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So Monte was still playing, and he was out there, good scoring guard, but too small. He was quick and all, but if he wasn't scoring, he ain't bringing too much of nothing else to the game.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, he was dynamic, scorer, athlete, all that.
Yeah, fun to watch.
Exciting to watch. He kind of was. I mean, I ain't gonna say like he was a little more athletic more athletic, but I think he's somewhat like Jordan Poole.
Yeah.
Just
Just
like a
probably like a couple of inches short. I think Monte was like 6'2", Poole like 6'4".
yeah, he's about 6'4", and then Monte he just had crazy bounce. I remember seeing that dude play live. I'm like his jump shot, dude got off the floor like, bro, just he can just jump.
He had that quick ass first step too.
Hella, and he had a nice J.
Yeah, he had a mid range, but he going out there. He gonna put up his 25 shots. It don't matter who on the floor.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
exactly.
He gonna go out there and get it. It's gonna be a inefficient 20-some points on 20-some shots, but he going out there and he gonna jack up that ball.
Yeah. like
That's where
Donovan Mitchell.
Steph got that tunnel shot from.
Yeah, from Monte. I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause I think Monte, he was one of the last players ever drafted coming out of high school.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he came from Mississippi?
Mississippi.
Yeah.
Some high school down there. But yeah, I think he scored like 70 points in the high school game, something crazy like that. Like he
Yeah.
just
They hyped
like
it up.
yeah, he just light you up, man. Just crazy, just energy.
Yeah. Yeah, Warriors, man. It was so horrible for us to watch over the years. Like, never thought we'll win a championship. Because it was like every time we got a player and we develop something like in the 90s, we develop a player, they become good. Ownership don't want to pay them. They trade them. They go be an all-star somewhere else. We like, come on now. And all these horrible draft picks, it's like, oh, man, we ain't going to never be shit. It was hard to watch. It was like, man, I don't go to the Coliseum just to go watch the next team. It was hard to watch year after year. Think about it. We had Antoine Jameson, Chris Webber, Joe Smith. Who else? Gilbert Arenas,
Latrell
Sprewell, Tim Hardaway, Mitch Richmond. It's like
y'all had some guys that come through there, man. Some stars.
Don Nelson came in. He ruined it 2 different times for us.
Jason Richardson, yep. Baron
Gilbert
Davis.
Arenas. Yeah, Baron Davis. That we believe team. It was fun to watch, but we beat Dallas because we knew the scheme and the system and how Dirk was gonna play, but Utah destroyed us that next series.
I just think y'all punked them.
Yeah,
I just think that's what it was. I think that's what it was. I just think y'all punked. That's what I think it was.
Don Nelson drafted Dirk and he developed him. Him and his son, Don and Donnie Nelson.
Yeah.
So he knew Dirk's weaknesses, his strengths, and like he knew what he was gonna do before he did it. That's how we beat them. But once we got to Utah, what they beat us in 5 games, that's when B Diddy dunked on AK-47, Karolinko.
Yeah, I remember that sideways from the
But yeah, we was trying to punk them, but Utah was just too skilled for us, and we was just a perimeter team, jacking up threes.
Like in the park.
Yeah, it was like, man, it's like y'all don't get y'all ass to the hole, wide open to the lane, and I don't shoot this 3. No.
Yeah, they had a nice little squad on Utah. They had D. Will, Andre Karolinko, Boozer. They had a nice little squad over there too.
Was Mehmet Kerr?
Yeah. The tall white dude.
Threes and stuff too.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had a nice squad over there.
Yeah. Hey, Bubba and Bruce, y'all still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, we listened to the Warriors history thing.
Yeah, I'm locked in too. Like, this dude got. Man, where you been at East Oakland, man? I know I've seen you probably on Showtime in them stream.
Yeah, I be on everybody things, supporting everybody. But I just, it'd be 10, 12 people on there arguing, over talking to everybody. I'll stay in the comments. Half the time I'll just be having the phone on, listening and be doing doing something else. I stay tuned in.
Yeah.
I don't be going all that back and forth with nobody over the on no damn YouTube. I ain't
Yeah,
got time to be arguing and all that fake tough guy stuff.
yeah, man. We always you welcome here anytime, bro. Because we out here. We got our opinion, like we were just talking earlier. But
Yeah, that's
everybody
how
gonna
I
get.
found you on Showtime channel, and I subscribe to you.
Oh man, appreciate you, bro. Man, you come in anytime you want.
Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, I just try to go around and support everybody. Like us, give you a like, thumbs up, subscribe.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I'm gonna go ahead and end the show here, though, man. Any last words from y'all, man?
Bye, Draymond.
Look, hold on. We got one more season of them. Maybe
Yeah,
two if he opt in as player option.
I don't know, man.
Not so quick yet.
He's over the
not
hill, man.
Mm.
He's over the hill.
Wait, BJ, I got a question for you though. If you
Go ahead.
think James Harden didn't deserve the max, why should Draymond deserve the max? Because James Harden had a way better season than Draymond.
What year you talking about? This year?
Yeah.
No way.
How did James Harden get it? How did he have a better season?
Well,
No, he didn't have a better season. No way.
He was 2 assists shy of averaging a triple double.
See, that's why I can't go by numbers, man. Them
Bro,
empty calories. It's like, okay, check this out. I'm gonna put numbers like this. If I eat like a bunch of,
Chips.
fried food or chips, whatever. All these calories, bruh, but they're bad calories. They're not nutritious. I'm sluggish as hell throughout the whole day. I can't move. I'm non-productive, but I ate a bunch of calories. That's not a good thing. Just because you got a bunch of stats don't mean you productive. Like, how productive were you on the court, bro? Like, that's why we got to go by the eye test. Like, what did you do, like, to help your team win?
The dude was looking at the ball rolling on the floor.
And you a Philly
Bro,
fan, Bubba, you can know.
Wait, that play, if he had touched it, it would have been a backcourt violation.
Man, come on.
James Harden sucks, man.
That's
And them
an
two
excuse.
different type of players, though, too.
Yeah, I would take right now from what I saw what James Harden did last year. I would take Draymond as my third option or fourth option over James Harden as my second option any day.
I would take Draymond over James Harden any day.
Yeah. And with the team that I got, I would take Draymond as my fourth option, then James Harden as my second. Now, if you're
But
talking about Houston, James,
I can understand what y'all saying, but it's like, what you gonna have around your team? Because you might need James Harden to be that man on your team, and he might need somebody like a Draymond to unlock him when he come down, to decisions down the stretch, to get Harden open, to play some defense when Harden ain't.
I know Draymond is gonna be on the court practicing. I know James Harden is gonna be in the cafeteria. So
yeah, but you think about it. James Harden, we seen him really at his best. Remember, Kevin McHale was coaching him when he first got to Houston.
Mm-hmm.
When Mike D'Antoni got here and it spoiled him with putting the ball, having him shoot all them threes and that style of offense.
Yeah, with no defense.
Yeah. James Harden, he'll never want to go back to that player because he's stuck playing Mike D'Antoni's system. But he could be a mid-range game and post up. He had all that in his bag.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
he was playing off the ball. He was cutting. When he first came to Houston, he came to Houston, like, I think his first game against Detroit, he had like 40 something and like 10 some crazy stat line. But he was playing basketball the right way.
He always been a playmaker. But they always like he's slow, but he can still get by you because he's crafty.
Right.
And he big, so it's like, but that style of offense, he went from Kevin McHale because Kevin McHale was really coaching him.
and he
You know,
understands angles too.
yeah.
So
And Mike D'Antoni just spoiled him and had him out here scoring 30-something points a game. He like, oh hell no, I ain't doing nothing else. Why should I?
Dribble,
Yeah.
dribble, dribble, free throws, dribble, dribble,
Yeah.
dribble. Free throws.
nigga average like I'm like yelling at the TV. This dude averaged like 18 free throws. I'm like, I ain't never seen nothing like this.
But you see how when it came from the regular season to the postseason, when he don't get all them calls, what his game look like?
And he look stuck like Chuck.
Yeah, because he taking a lot of them bad shots, hoping he get fouled on that 3-point shot.
Yeah, I can see why people don't like watching them because it's like if you're the opposing team, it's like he manipulates the refs.
Mm-hmm.
And I know everybody does it, but he do it to extents where it's like, bruh, it's not even that. It's not necessary for you to do that. Like
He
you ain't
took
gotta.
he
Go ahead.
took full-fledged advantage of them of the rules, and the refs helped him out a whole lot.
But wait, to be fair, a lot of players did though.
Yeah, but it was like it was a lot of them calls. It's like really, like come
Yeah,
on.
and
I
I
mean, James
think
Harden started it, so
yeah, James, and it's like it's genius, but it's like, bruh, that's annoying too. Like, cause now I can't even play defense. I remember there was a game where they were playing the
LeBron
Cavs. Yeah, with LeBron put
LeBron
his
put his
hands
hand
behind
behind
his
his
back.
back. Yeah.
I'm like, you can't guard him.
Well, it was him and CP doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can't guard like because the refs won't allow the rules won't allow you. Uh,
That's why. That's why they put the offensive foul on the offensive player now. When they be shooting the three, they kick their legs for it to try to draw the foul.
Right.
I mean,
yeah,
they've been doing it for Reggie Miller. They've been thinking about doing it when he used to do it back in the day. But James Harden, they really put the emphasis on calling it offensive foul now because of James Harden, and they hearing the complaints. You
right.
know, it's good for basketball. I guess for the NBA, the executives like, oh, he out there averaging 30-some points a game. You know, oh, he one of the best scorers we ever seen, you know, all time. But it's like you averaging 35 points a game, but half of that is on free throw.
Exactly.
You out there shooting 7 for 27, but you 15 for 18 from the free throw line. Where you
And
really get the points from?
that's called looking at the stat sheet and not really like watching the game. Uh, the realist said, BJ, what's your thoughts on PG playing and Drew? I'm cool with it. I don't mind it. I'm not really, injuries can happen anytime. I'm like players play throughout the summer, all these little pro-ams, so I ain't tripping on it. I think it's just good run.
Yeah, another little pickup game. Like how the players team up in the off season and go practice or, and go have a little run.
Yeah, players been doing that for years. Like they were doing that when Jordan was playing. Like they always go play in, summer pickup games. Now, don't go hurting my player, nigga. Don't be fouling him on the wrist and on the arm and elbow. Don't be when they go out to play like it's a nice little pickup. Like you ain't gotta play hard as hell, but I ain't got nothing against it.
Yeah, it'd be give them something to do. They be in there bored. Ah, man, y'all run it over there. I'm come pull up.
Right, right, man. But all right, fellas, we're gonna shut it down here, man. Man, this is a great live, man. I appreciate East Oakland coming on, bro. I learned some stuff, man. Honestly, and
We gonna learn from each other. I'm a fan of basketball, just not one team.
for sure. Of course, Bruce and Bubba, this my regulars, man. So definitely, I want you to be on more too, man, with us, and talk, chop it up with us.
Yeah. Well, salute everybody. Thank y'all for having me on. I appreciate y'all. Hope y'all have a blessed night. Take care. Until
Yes,
next
sir.
time we do it again, man. I'll pull back up on you.
Yeah, we
Likewise.
over here every day for the most part, man. So, yeah, salute.
Yeah, for sure.
Salute, salute.
All right.
Y'all have a good one.
Later.
Good night, man. Bless.
Bye.
All right, y'all. So that concludes the Pull Up Basketball Podcast. Shout out to my man, Bubba Chuck, Bruce Morrow, my new guy, East Oakland, I know Mac for subscribe to the channel, man. Anybody else that wants to subscribe to the channel, go ahead and do so, man. Like, share, subscribe to the YouTube Pull Up Basketball Podcast, the hottest YouTube page out there, man. Share it with your friends, your family, all your basketball players, man. Great quality content on here, man. Always love y'all. Definitely appreciate y'all for coming in. And yeah, we're gonna keep the ball rolling. We respectfully say, pull up a seat, pull up a chair, pull up. Peace. Out of here like swimwear.